what's up? And the Brian and the VC. Whatever. Welcome. It's Cosmic Vinyl and you're in it. It's Cosmic Realm. I'll turn this down a little bit. Alright. How about it? We're just taking a little cruise. Hey, what's up everybody? Hi, come on in. Cosmic Realm. Alright. Hey y'all, just when you thought it was safe to move on from the vinyl community contests, round 2, baby, round 2. Cosmic contest number 2000. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, round 2 of the contests. It's a goodie. This guy's channel is awesome, and I'm going to tell you about it. And the contest is for a sub milestone, so that's always cool, right? Guy comes in, jacks his sub count, and goes clear up. He shows some great stuff. And I'm going to tell you all about it as soon as I get this mind shield off. Woohoo! Let's... Ah, I can't see! Oh my god, I'm blind! Just kidding. Hey, I've gotten used to this. I won't make a big deal about it. Alright. I'm sorry. That's gotta get old, right? Doesn't for me. Sometimes this is self-indulgent for me. Just bear with me, please, vinyl community. Bear with me. Anyway, this is kind of a goofy thing that happened to me here. This is the second video I've had to do for this contest. Actually, there's a video out there, and there's people that have seen it. I think maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe 20 people that have seen it. A couple people, like few people have commented on it. But anybody that lives here in the United States apparently don't have access to it. So, yeah, I was stupid enough to put a couple of songs on there. And it was probably the one I put right at the end that got me blocked. So, I'll be more careful this time, hopefully. I'll pray to the YouTube gods, please don't block my video. Pretty please, YouTube deity in the cosmic realm. Whatever. Anyway, it's for Chris Propfe. Wait, it's Propfe. I don't know if it's the P that's silent or the F is silent or the E is long. I'm just gonna say Propfe. Chris Propfe. I love it. I love his name. I love saying it. Propfe. What's up? Got the Propfe going on, brother. Anyway. Musically obsessed. Yeah! Aren't we all? I mean, really, everybody in the vinyl community is vinylly obsessed and musically obsessed. It's a sickness. Oh my god. Oh, bring in the stray jackets. Anyway, 200 subs. And now, Chris, I know you're at like about probably closer to 300 now. I know at one time I looked, it was about 250 if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, congratulations, my friend. And man, I love your channel. You show a lot of cool stuff from metal to just lots of you get some classic stuff in there, just jazzy stuff, blues, everything, man. And that's why I like your channel, a lot of variety, and I dig it. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead. The questions to the contest were great. Good stuff, fun stuff. So, I'm just going to take a little drinky of the, today it's Dr. Pepper. Got an early morning date at the job tomorrow, so I decided not to go with the alcoholic bev tonight. So, all right. The first question is, what's your first musical memory? So Mazzy has a video that he showed recently, And I think maybe if it might have been for this video, I can't remember, or for this contest, I cannot remember exactly. I just know that he was talking about a song that was one of my first musical memories, and I remember it because, like you, Chris, I remember, driving around in my parents' car. My parents had a Pontiac Catalina 1972 two-tone green two-door. Oh my God, it was a machine. But I love that car, and it was cool. I remember just most of these songs were like tuned in on the AM radio, and so we got to hear some pretty cool music. But here's the thing. I'm going to kind of mix a little childhood history in this for you. Back in the day, it was safe when you went into the store. You could leave your kids in the car by themselves, right? I mean, it was a different time. So my mom would go to the grocery store, and she'd have me and my younger brother. He was 5 years younger than I was. We were in grade school, I suppose. I was probably, 10, and he was 5. I don't know. Something around, maybe a little younger, I don't know. But I just remember doing horrible things to my brother when my mom left us in the car. She'd go inside the store, and then I'd say, "Oh my God, there goes Mom! She's driving away with that guy in that car, that strange man." And he'd be like, Why would you do that?" "I don't know, she's leaving, Brad, where'd she go?" And he'd be like bawling his eyes out, and I'd finally let him in on it, but it wasn't nice. But I just couldn't. Here's the other thing. Remember those old cars had a car lighter that you pushed it in, and now of course those are outlets for like your plug in your chargers and stuff like that. It's more now for, instead of a car lighter, it's more for like to power your devices and whatnot. But back in the day, it was a cigarette lighter, and you pushed it in, and it would get hot, and then you would like hold your cigarette, and it would get red hot, like orange hot, and it had a coil in it that looked like a lifesaver. All right, and so I'd pop. Okay, I think you know where this story's going. I have my little brother, right? I have a cigarette lighter that has something hot in it that looks like a lifesaver. I mean, do I really need to finish the story about what I did to my brother? I'm not proud of it, but I did tell him it was a lifesaver, and how. Anyway, I was horrible to my little brother back then. But you know what? I did defend him a lot of times as we got older and he got picked on by the other kids. I stuck up for him. And of course, later on in life, he kicked my ass. So, because he got bigger and stronger than me. So, whatever. Anyway, but but while we were in the car, we also got to listen to some pretty cool music on the radio. And I remember, like, my earliest memories of music. And as I was saying, Mazzy mentioned a song by Jimmy Dean called Big Bad John. And it was a Big Bad John, and it was about this big man who, I guess there was some guys stranded in a mine, and is this going to be do I need to give a spoiler alert here for a song that's like 70 years old? I don't need to, do I? I can just well, anyway, Big John goes into the mine to rescue these guys, and in the process he saves them, but he dies, and they put up this memorial, Big John, here lies a big man, or something. I don't remember, but I just remember that's one of my first musical memories. Sorry, spoiler alert. If you haven't heard that song or looked it up by now or know the story, I'm sorry. After 60 or 70 years, it's on you. But anyway, another song, maybe it wasn't that long ago. Jesus, I'm making it sound like it was back in the 20s. Anyway, another song, and I've got to get this I got to find a record with this song on it. King of the Road by Roger Miller. God, I loved that song. Another one is El Paso by Marty Robbins. That was another early song that I remember. Wichita Lineman by Glenn Campbell. But then there was a record. My mom and dad didn't have very many records, so I'm going to give you like my early vinyl memories from when I was growing up. My mom and dad didn't have hardly any records, but what they didn't listen to records. They didn't listen to a lot of music. I don't know how I became such a music lover, but I just remember that they did have a stack of records in the basement, and one of the records was a 45. Yeah, we called them 45s back then. They weren't 7 inches. They were called 45s, and I'm going to call them 45s. But anyway, it was for the Beatles hit Help on one side, and I love the song Help by the Beatles. I would say that's probably in my top 3 Beatles songs of all time. And I remember on the B side of Help was a song called I'm Down. And I remember the 45 had the apple in the middle on the label. And I'm Down was kind of a garagey, like punky kind of. It was kind of an aggressive song. I remember I really liked it. I would put it on my like close and play or whatever little record player I had at the time, and I'd just turn it over and listen to I'm Down. Then I'd listen to Help until I knew the song before I was even out of grade school. I'd be singing the song Help and I'm Down. I could sing it word for word, but Help was probably one of my earliest vinyl memories. An album, which I still have. This is the original album that my folks had in their basement. Is this Sonny and Cher record. And it's Look at Us, Sonny and Cher. And it includes the hit I Got You Babe, which is a great song, by the way. But look at the fur like vest he's got. I mean, they look so hippie-ish, and this is actually a very cool album cover, and it's a pretty decent album too. Still in the shrink, might add. Got the Holiday gas. We had these gas stations here in town called Holiday, and I didn't even realize maybe they did sell records. It just says Holiday Discount Record Centers, $2.79. So yeah, this is a pretty cool record, and that's probably, and I still have it, so that's just something I will probably never let go. So earliest vinyl memory there too. So I know that question took a long time, but we're gonna move it on. Second question is karaoke. What song would you like to karaoke, or what song do you karaoke? Now I'm gonna tell you, I am a singer slash vocalist, or whatever you want to call me. I am a singer without a band right now. I was in a band, but now I'm not in a band, and blah blah blah. Their loss. But anyway, I do like to. I need to get that. I still need to sing in front of people, and sometimes I will go out and I'll do a little karaoke. Now I'm not a karaoke guy per se that does the karaoke circuit, and I'm known as the karaoke king of Fort Dodge, Iowa. But I will say this, when I get behind the mic, I kill it in karaoke, okay? But anyway, some of the songs that I tend to my go-to songs is a song off of this record by The Cure, a song called Just Like Heaven that I can belt out pretty good. So I thought I'd show that. Another song that's really super fun to sing, and you can really get into it, especially like at the end there with I fooled around, fooled around and fell in love by Elvin Bishop. An absolutely killer. This is a great record. You can get this record for little or nothing. They're everywhere. This is bargain bin fodder right here, but it's a good record. And yeah, Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Elvin Bishop is a song that I love to karaoke. Song I've been doing recently when I go out to sing karaoke is off this Elton John Greatest Hits album. It's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and I'm telling you, you can rock that shit too, and I do, man, because that's a great, that's probably one of the best rock and roll songs ever written. You can quote me on that. This friggin' record right here, this Greatest Hits compilation for Elton John, This might be Greatest Hits Volume 1. This guy is an artist. And this, about every song on here is a killer song. Your Song, Daniel, Honky Cat, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Nights, Rocket Man, Benny and the Jets. I mean, there isn't a pussy on this song. These are all great, great songs. So yeah, this is a good album. And a fun song to karaoke is Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. And then this record here has got a couple of songs on it that I absolutely loved to carry. Well, it's probably a couple of my favorite karaoke songs to do. One of them is Jailbreak, the title track off of this Thin Lizzy record. By the way, this is a great album cover. This could be for another question that he asked about album covers you could just stare at. This is amazing. This almost looks like a cosmic, like Marvel Comics kind of a deal. I would venture to say that this guy might be a comic book drawer because this looks comic bookish. Jim Fitzpatrick. I'm going to have to look that up, by the way. But yeah, I karaoke the hell out of Jailbreak, and also The Boys Are Back in Town. Both of those are a couple of my go-to songs on karaoke. So yeah, we got a couple places here in town that you can karaoke your ass off if you want. So, the next one is Desert Island. God, I hate the Desert Island question. Jesus. You got to narrow down your collection to 3 records for Desert Island picks. Well, this is what I'm going with this week anyway. Let's see. I'm going to go with this one. And this is something I just got recently as a VCLT from Beth at B-Sides Records. This is a movie soundtrack for Last American Virgin. And this is a movie you cannot find. It's rare find on DVD. And this is definitely a hard find on vinyl for the soundtrack. And Beth was kind enough to send me this and the movie, and I was so happy. This is probably one of the best VCLT I've ever received. And The Last American Virgin, check it out if you can find it. A kind of a coming of age movie. But this soundtrack is amazing. It's got it's kind of a new wave soundtrack. It's got Teen Angel Eyes by Tommy Two-Tone, Da-Da-Da by The Police, Whip It by Devo, When I Find You by Phil Seymour. Yeah, there's some great power pop on here. My favorite song on this album is Better Luck Next Time by Oingo Boingo. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that song is only found on this soundtrack if you wanted to find it recorded. I've not found it on any other Oingo Boingo record, but it's called Better Luck Next Time, and it's on this soundtrack. Are you ready for the Sex Girls by the Gleaming Spires? Since You're Gone by the Cars? I Know What Boys Like by the Waitresses? I mean, this is great stuff. Great compilation here, soundtrack. The next one is Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin. Now, the hit off of this that most people would know is the song Burnin' For You. I happen to think that the deeper cuts on this record are the best ones. Veteran of Psychic Wars, Vengeance, The Pact, Joan Crawford Has Risen From the Dead, Soul Survivor. I mean, this is just a killer album. There's the sleeve. The artwork on this is pretty incredible too. You could sit there and look at that forever. I would like to get that tattoo, that guy right there. That'd be cool. But anyway, yeah, that's my second Desert Island LP. And one that I just love. This is my favorite David Bowie album of all time is Low. And this is a reissue. It's not an OG. I got tired of waiting around to see if I could find one for a decent price, so bought this reissue. But this is a great reissue, by the way. You might, if you go back into my catalog of videos, you'll see a video where I feature this album and I talk a little bit about a fever dream I had when I had an infection. I was on pain pills and antibiotics, and I was in this fever dream, and I popped this 8-track in and I just let it loop, and I remember just having these vivid dreams. And yeah, just go back and check the video. It's a pretty good story. Another childhood craziness. But yeah, another Desert Island album is David Bowie, Low. Love that record. It's amazing, by a great artist who left us far before his time. An album cover that I could stare at forever, and did, and have. When I was a kid, this album cover was one that me and my friends would look at, and we would just either imagine the band live doing it, or we would imagine ourselves doing this, and we would put this album on, and we would play the whole thing as if we were playing like guitars and drums and the whole thing. But this is Kiss Alive, the original Kiss Alive record. God, that album is so friggin' cool. Look at that. I mean, the guy. This is if you're a kid and you're a rebellious, and Kiss comes on, you got to realize that Kiss wasn't just a band to us. Kiss was a way of it was a way that we could rebel, and this was them at their rawest and at their most sincere. Not the Kiss that we know now. This is Kiss back when this was the Kiss that I choose to remember right here. It's amazing. There's the inner sleeve there, or the gatefold. There's the back. Imagine that crowd, that Cabo. I think it's at Cobalt Arena in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, great record. Casablanca label, amazing stuff right there. Yeah, that's an album cover. That's probably in my top 5 album covers of all time. God, this one could be right there too. This is an album with a best closing track off of an album. This is an album I've shown before. This is Alice Cooper, From the Inside. This is Alice Cooper when he was probably at his lowest point. If they didn't put him in the asylum for drinking to kick his alcoholism, he would have died. So yeah, he was that far gone. But this is an album about, it just tells the story of some of the people that he met while he was inside. And this is kind of a gimmicky record. It opens up, and I got to be real careful with this because this is pretty minty, and I don't want to wreck it. But there's a picture of some of the characters featured in some of the songs there. And then on the back part, there's some doors here where Alice and his friends are running out of the back, being released from the asylum. So yeah, just a great record. The closing track on this is a song called Inmates, We're All Crazy, and it's this epic orchestral, and there's a chorus that sings, we're all crazy, 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 crazy. I mean, it's just insane. It's a celebratory song about insanity and mental illness, and it's so great. Like I told this story before, my friend had a room that had wall to wall mirrors, and he had strobe lights, and we put this on his kick-ass stereo and play it with the strobes and everything. We'd just be fired up on be high as a kite. And God, it was fun, and it was just a good stuff. So that's my entry there, Chris. Hopefully this time I didn't play the songs off of the album, so I should be okay. But this is Cosmic Brian, and I am signing off. And I'll catch you guys next time. But tune in next time. I got some great stuff from the St. Louis Record Show I'm going to show. And I got some more VCLT in the mail that I'm going to show. But God bless you guys. Have a great day tomorrow. And we'll catch you next time. Chris, congrats once again, my friend. You've got a great channel and a great collection, man. Peace out.